realistic, but let's see what the race will bring us, and we'll take it from there.
Paolo, something else. I haven't had a chance completely with Ducatis next year, and that brings me to the question is, I mean, 8 machines, they can supply awesome machinery to all those riders.
Yeah, it's true. It's a lot of bikes, but just by signing this deal in time, give us a possibility to organize everything perfectly.
And his brother, Alex Marquez, came to the grid
ahead of this race. This will be an intriguing one from Suzuki's perspective, because they've got good pace.
And that soft front tyre, he has got to make the start. And when you think that he's surrounded by Pecco Bagnaia, Joan Mir, that front tyre overheating.
It's still 199 podiums for Valentino Rossi, and the likelihood is it will stay.
Marc Marquez, the 3 men that came to the grid with Michelin's soft rear tyre. Marquez has got to try and use that extra grip in 21st place, but there is your pole man. Can he make that pole position count? It's the 13th. Will that pay dividends over this 26-lap Dutch TT?
Racing is back here in Assen. We did miss it last. It's all the way back through the last 10 years. Vinales the most recent. Marquez then in 18 in that brilliant lead. The TT circuit here in Assen, is there a new name going to be added to the trophy?
It's always that extra special on this world-famous venue here in the Netherlands.
The riders are ready. The fans are ready. We are ready. On pole position and immediately side by side with his teammate Quartararo. He cuts his nose off on the approach to turn 1, and Vinales gets swallowed up. Bagnaia.
He got the initial launch, and then there was almost that contact with Fabio Quartararo. Quartararo then it is the leads here in Assen.
Good start, that one of the Tech 3 KTMs. Marc Marquez has made a decent start there as well. He's up to 13th already. 7 places made by number 90
in the pack here. He's got to try and go up. Oh, Bagnaia.
That's close.
That's close.
He's almost contact.
Yeah, he's nudged Fabio Quartararo.
Look at that.
Between Quartararo and Bagnaia. Quartararo got in hot into the bolt at turn 9, ran wide. Bagnaia does finally take the lead.
His plan to get out front. Quartararo immediately though on these fast corners with that stable Yamaha challenging through turn 15, but no room.
Picking up the entry on the corners with the rear flapping around everywhere. So we're about to complete the first lap. Pecco Bagnaia, a Moto3 winner.
He's down in 21st place on the opening lap.
Marquez had to do that. He's got that Michelin soft rear tyre. He knows it of that soft rear tyre. He's making it perfectly right now, up to the top 10.
Joan Mir trying to find a way through there on Jack Miller.
It wasn't a good first lap for Miguel Oliveira. He's got work to do to make it 4 podiums on the spinning Motorgp. Started 6, lost 3
at the front. Rins is 5th, Zarco 6th, and Miller in 7th. This is a replay of the start then from Joan Zarco, off the nose really of Maverick Vinales on the approach to turn 1.
Yeah, nice move as well, brave by Rins round the outside of Vinales. He's struggling to run this early pace. Vinales has been able to find a way through.
Where's Alex Rins gone? Rins has disappeared. What happened to Rins then on that lap? A 33.8 for Quartararo is the fastest lap of the race. What happened to number 42?
Oh, something between.
Sitting up Rins, squeezing him out, no room there, and Rins then, his chance of winning, gone.
Nakagami, we were just about to say that Vinales is making no impression at all on the Japanese man ahead of him. He's not gaining ground. We've already seen him nudge Alex Rins into the gravel at turn 10.
Quartararo then will now try and get himself closer to the hearing things. They come around then the final sector, and this is where Quartararo will start to reel in the Ducati out ahead.
In that dirty air behind the Ducati. Now here he comes, that's lovely. Perfectly, clinically executed move into the guide. So it was a short-lived experience at the front for Quartararo, back in 2nd.
Fastest lap of the race, Zarco in 5th.
Marc Marquez had a stellar first lap, clawed his way back from 20th to 10th. He's got stuck there now. He's behind Aleix
on Miller as well. I'm not sure what happened there into turn 5, but it looked a little bit messy.
Yeah, Vinales has got through. The relentless pressure coming here from Joan Zarco. They'll head towards turn 9 to bolt. This is where Rins crashed out of the land.
Alex Rins wide on board here with Vinales then, looking back to Joan Zarco, 2nd in the World Championship.
That's a very hard move by Joan Zarco. A racing instant. Alex Rins would have done that to people in the past himself. It was just unfortunate this time.
Here, leading the line for Honda at the moment, and Marc Marquez also doing a grand job. He stays 10th for now. Not a lot.
How much will Marc Marquez burn up that soft rear tyre? Looking back at the man in 2nd place, the World Championship leader Fabio Quartararo.
Oliveira find themselves in a precarious position. They could do with finding a way past Joan Zarco. They've got the pace to run with these guys out front, but number 89 in 13th.
Looks like that move on Vinales from Zarco is coming very, very soon. glued to Vin. Well, wide into Steckenval. Valentino Rossi's really paying for an awful first lap, an awful start. Now Petrucci's getting really scrappy from the Italians.
Cannot find a way through some of these one-line corners. Is he now going to line up another move into the Timor chicane? Fabio Quartararo is in Assen.
And if it goes to form, if it goes to practice pace, he's got the potential to bolt here. But look at the speed that the Ducati gets with Venslers. He's back in second.
It's clever from Bagnaia because he's using defensive lines. He's making life hard for Quartararo. He's just rid of the front and got half a second lead. It could be bye-bye Fabio.
Well, and you can see as well the fact that Quartararo can't get to the front. It's just...
Nakagami, well placed in third still. Front row seats of Bagnaia versus Quartararo.
The problem, because the Yamaha is by far so much superior with its corner speed. It's a much more agile and manoeuvrable motorcycle as well. Grand Prix so far.
Oh, he's through though now. Yeah, Fabio Quartararo is through. Is this the key moment then? Is this
Quartararo knows what he's got to do here. He's got to get his head down, push for 2 or 3 laps and break away from Pecco Bagnaia. Bagnaia, he laid it all on the line there, but Fabio Quartararo now in position A. Look at that. The way he was able to get that rear tyre hooked up.
Can he break away from this group? Further back there, Joan Mir looked like he was about to make a move and did on Joan Zarco. He can't. They stay 5th and 6th respectively.
Now you know coming towards sectors 3 and 4 now, Quartararo's going to try and bolt. He's going to Rigami ahead of him.
4 tenths up already, Quartararo then on Bagnaia.
Yeah, and he's coming now to the part of the circuit where this onslaught from Fabio Quartararo. Yeah, look at that, the gap already. Quartararo just break away. We know, apart from Jerez when he had the arm pump problems, but normally when Fabio Quartararo puts himself in this kind of...
And this could be the time then to make the break for the Frenchman.
That was it. As soon as he didn't have Bagnaia impeding him, he got straight first and 22nd place respectively.
Well, if he can maintain sight of Luca Marini, he's done a good job. This is the group then, and this is how it looks if things stay the way they are.
I mean, he was 8 tenths quicker than Maverick Vinales on that last lap, half a second faster. A clear track now, the Yamaha with nobody impeding their lines, this fast-flowing nature of Assen, it just plays to their strength. It's a circuit.
Devon, that's a fast crash.
That's fast for anybody, but when you're 42 years of age and you're 26 year of your Grand Prix.
Absolutely destroyed.
That is a big crash then for the doctor. Dismal day for him. Then Jarvis will be having his half a second quicker than Bagnaia. Vinales will ride on board with him now, just cannot find a way through. On Takana at the moment, Steve, there's nobody else that can even dream of a 32. You look at the next best man, I think it was Vinales to his credit.
Into turn 6 we go. Bagnaia has done a great job so far, even though he can't hold on to Quartararo. Vinales can't.
Bagnaia gets out of Assen with a 2nd place, given the difficulties of Ducati's history here. They've only won once with Casey Stoner in 2 rescue mission from Pecco Bagnaia. You always felt from the get-go in FP1 it was going to be damage limitation, and he's doing an outstanding job. Quartararo.
Likes of Maverick Vinales and Joan Mir also pretty strong in the 4th sector, but they can't find a way through on the riders up ahead of them. From him, he's now 2 seconds clear.
He's just operating on a different plane, different league at the moment. Quartararo, 32.9 best laps, but they are half a second, 6 tenths away from Quartararo. They're all starting to gang up now on Pecco Bagnaia, aren't they?
A group of riders behind him, the Honda of Nakagami, the Yamaha of Vinales, then Zarco.
This will be a 26 laps. It's as fit as a fiddle, Mr. Bagnaia, but all those hours in the gym and on his push bike, well, they'll be well spent.
He's just been given the information that Nakagami's hunting him down. Marc Marquez is just struggling to live with the pace of Aleix Espargaro and Miller up ahead. He's getting on terms with the Ducati. Can the Japanese rider find a way through into the Timor chicane up into 2nd place? This is
nervous. He looks so unsettled where the bike's behind him, that they're much more planted, and that just gives you that more comfort, that more confidence, and hits his markers and turn him where he wants to do, and that's why he's got big problems coming here from Nakagami and Vinales.
Tight line on the inside.
You see now Quartararo, he's opened up that advantage of almost 2.5 seconds, so he can just now clear track. Once he broke Bagnaia, he always felt like he had the pace to break away, and that's what he's done, and he slipped back into the 33s.
Championship, Zarco 36 points behind Bagnaia, 37, and Miller in 48 points.
As if he's not got enough on his plate.
Here comes Nakagami, what a move by the Japanese rider. That was big, bold and brave.
Power to the ground without that stability through turns 11, 12 and 13.
That's Simon. Oh, look at that, though. We just powered the machine underneath him to be able to put in an excellent defensive display.
He needs one of those sort of truck hazard. We can see it from the outside where his problems are. It's right at the top end of the circuit, turns 10, 11, 12, 13, that's where...
With them, but they cannot get through on the bikes ahead of them. Mir can't get through on Zarco, Vinales can't get through on Nakagami. Miguel Oliveira's the lead now for Fabio Quartararo, up ahead.
Yeah, you've got to feel like it might well be game over.
Well, if there's a man in the paddock that's overdue and deserves a podium, it's Nakagami. He has been knocking on the door for a back through on Bagnaia.
What Nakagami's demonstrated he's been good at so far this year is he's always had good pace. That rear tyre for some strong pace in the last 7, 8, 9, 10 laps, and that could be crucial here.
Around 7th place, through turn 5 we go. Mir struggling to get past the Ducati.
On the 33.3 on the last lap. Bagnaia actually was a couple of tenths faster than the race leader, but having established that near, there's Rossi
from Quartararo. That was aggressive at the start, and that was just enough. This is on board with Quartararo. This would be a great camera angle here, as you'll see him.
He quickly got back to an Alex Rins, but since then he's been sick of the sights of Nakagami's
here
rear
he comes
tyre.
again. Nakagami goes through, but he's not quite close enough. And here comes Pecco again, on the power, on the Ducati, on the start-finish straight, and he'll make light work.
Acceleration when he winds up the power. He almost hit the back of Nakagami. There was such a big differential in speed.
It's frustrating the rest of the years.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Attacking, defending.
It might look easy.
Nail it through 16, 17, 18. You've got to get the Gert Timmer chicane absolutely spot on to set yourself up to take a back up in that Ducati on a sixpence, hitting his markers and then running the same line, and then he can just use that squatting device, which is so...
For Bagnaia, he was given a track limits warning, and that is his podium charge probably over now, and he's nearly just gone into because the Italian, who's done such a brilliant job, has got to go through the long lap penalty, and Nakagami's been punished over the last couple of corners. Zarco
on his dashboard. Maverick Vinales likewise also has a track limits warning. 3.6 seconds up the road, and
that has cost him his chance of getting a podium here today. He drops in behind Aleix Espargaro. There's a challenge there from Mir, sitting up. Lastly, is that going to be for the World Championship?
He's out.
And Martin has just entered the pits. Why Martin has just entered pit lane?
Losing control on the exit of the Strubben, head in hands. That's a real costly mistake in terms of the World Championship. Out.
Well, whilst this has all gone on, now Oliveira's now gone through on Nakagami. What's just happened to Nakagami in the last lap? Marquez is all over the tail now of Pecco Bagnaia as well. So 4 seconds the lead for Quartararo over his teammate Maverick.
Just shows how important that last lap was in Q1 yesterday for Zarco. We didn't think he was going to advance into Q2. Well, Nakagami looked like a moment ago he was on for P2. So there's been one weak point of attacking Nakagami. It's been his ability to cope with high pressure situations when he's been in with...
This is what happened at turn 5 then, between, he got sat on, didn't he?
He got picked up then by Mir,
yeah, and so that didn't help, and that's
racing.
But he's got no choice.
No, exactly. He hasn't got the power of that Suzuki, he hasn't got the squat device to use the acceleration, right, from Bagnaia. Marquez also in that group as well with Nakagami.
And he can keep his tyres well at the end of races as well. It's 4.2 seconds the lead out front. Zarco actually looks faster than Maverick Vinales.
Just on a 33.290, his fastest lap of the race.
Well, both Mir and Oliveira now are starting to get it. See Marc Marquez there in 8th place, Nakagami 9th. It's Pol Espargaro 10th, Igor Lecuona and his teammate Petruccio 11th and 12th, with Binder as quick as anybody up at the sharp end.
Maverick Vinales just took far too long to find a way through. Well,
credit to Garrett Gerloff at the moment as well. He's enduring a great battle with Luca Marini. He's currently ahead of the Italian. He's lapping in the one.
Still a lot of question marks about tyre life here. Nakagami now's got a track limits warning himself.
Favourite to take the remaining podium spots. Good battle going on here between the two Hondas.
The good thing for Maverick Vinales now he's got to second is he won't have to worry about front tyre temperature or pressure going from the Frenchman that's going to bring anybody else back into contention.
Let's quickly...
During the race, but there's a little lull, they've settled in, and you are the latest news. Is there any truth to the rumour?
To know if the rider is on the market. If the rider is on the market, then for sure we are very interested in such a talent. I think what Yamaha will do in terms of a contract with Maverick, and then if he's available, then we'll try our best to convince him.
The gap at the front has been chopped significantly at 33.8 for Fabio Quartararo, and across the line for Vinales. His pull off the circuit at the nearest opportunity. But maybe this race at the front isn't over just yet with 8 laps.
He'd have seen that message, the black flag with the orange disc, and Mir's got through on Zarco. And again, it's a move he's made at the Stroud. But as always, he's always finding something on race day, and Joan Mir now up into 3rd place.
He is wrestling the front of that Suzuki. Well, the gap at the front is 3.3 between the 2 Monster Energy Yamaha riders. You just heard from the horse's mouth there, Rivola pretty much saying,
like Maverick Vinales, seems like he wants to join your team. Anything to get out of Yamaha, it looks like. Miller in the pits then, firing up the inside of Aleix Espargaro into turn 15. Espargaro can't find a way back through, so Marquez up into the meter of his battered body will be in pain. He'll be grimacing inside that showy helmet, but he's doing an outstanding job.
He's lapping. It's to go. The marshals are going to have to quickly get out and try and sort that one out. The gap at the front is still 3 points. Zarco and Oliveira, and here come the marshals then to recover the bike of Iker Lecuona. What happened to the number 27 then? Is Iker Lecuona.
Yeah, another race where he's not going to see the checkered flag, unfortunately. Danilo Petrucci just lap because he's running the exact same pace right now as Fabio Quartararo.
Quartararo has responded.
Yeah.
He is going to punish his rivals with this victory. When you look at the championship, he's near
the podium finisher here. That was a little bit lively and loose, to say the least. Fabio.
The gap had come down to 3.3, but it's been restored to 3.8 again now.
That might have been why Quartararo was dropping into the thing.
Through turn 6 we go. Monster Energy Yamaha team. Podium since the win on the opening night. The gap again has just come down for the time being to 3.1. Is this Quartararo just managing the sit?
Just why he is the world champion. Good battle this as well, a bit further back, raging between Bagnaia and Marquez.
Marquez was, and he's potentially chasing down a 6th place finish, which would be
Marc Marquez. He'd love to salvage a top 6. He said without all the dramas of this weekend, he's felt all the time he's got top 6 protect. Get away through on Pecco Bagnaia's Ducati, which is slightly easier said than done.
Fabio Quartararo, the race leader, was in the gap at the moment. It's still 3.1 seconds. Back to his teammate Maverick Vinales as we continue to track this battle for 6th.
Zarco knows they are precious World Championship points up for grabs, particularly when he can see Fabio Quartararo hammering home his advantage.
Into 11th, having fallen way back, not just to last, but some way off last place as well.
That was a tough task for him.
The gap again has just come down by a 10th, but still in control is Quartararo. And it is 2.8, the gap for the Frenchman over Maverick Vinales.
Yeah, line, it was just a couple of tenths, so there's plenty of life left in the battle for the final place on the podium before everybody heads to
Oliveira might just fancy his chances late on here of a podium.
Joan Mir is just sensational. You look at his quality. Jello 9th to 3rd, Catalunya 10th to 4th. He loves giving himself hard work, but he always...
Well, he's trying to keep himself in contention, isn't he? He's waiting for Suzuki to come up with some sort of squatting device to help them out in acceleration.
He deserves it after this ride because he's been brilliant, quite brilliant. And so is Pecco Bagnaia. How on earth? Oh, he's wide again. Sector 3. Poor old Pecco Bagnaia.
Kagami's all of a sudden found some late on. At the moment, it's going to be a 1-2 for Monster Energy Yamaha. There is your helicopter view and turn 5.
Yeah, El Diablo brace for some Dutch delight. He's been in cruise control, one-man demolition job. Maverick Vinales has got to within 3 seconds, but Fabio Quas Factory Ducati. Zarco, he just cannot get that gap down to Mir under 2.
He's in sight, but he wants to be a part of this battle.
6 seconds as well behind his teammate Marc Marquez, and at the moment, so too much cheer.
Marquez then can't quite find a way through again on Pecco Bagnaia, another into 7th place.
Mir's late rally has been brilliant. A 33.4 from him. He gaps Zarco.
Move into the Timmer chicane, and perhaps a little nudge in the process there from Aleix Espargaro. another 7th place, just a lap and a half away from taking the Dutch TT, and quite frankly, the first half of this 2021 championship.
Victories and a comfortable World Championship advantage heading into the summer break with one of his big rivals, Joan Mir, out the fight against Joan Mir too.
Vinales looks set for his first podium since the opening night of here today.
Yeah, he might be swerving a few Aprilia questions and 2022 questions, Maverick Vinales.
The last podium for him and Suzuki.
It really would. This will feel like a win for Joan Mir. Credit as well to Bagnaia, because Chao there, of course, so many years part of Valentino Rossi's stable. Lynn Jarvis as well.
What 7th victory in MotoGP and his first ever Dutch TT win.
Well, Vinales was fastest on Friday, Vinales was fastest on Saturday, but when it really matters, on a cruise, the final 2 sectors here to win in Assen, the 90th edition of the Dutch TT.
Could have been more. The man with the biggest boost going into the summer break is going to be Fabio Quartararo. The Frenchman wins. Excellent third to pick up his his third podium of 2021. A delighted Lynn Jarvis then.
Last lap of 33.385. Well, there are the 3 top men here in Assen in that picture.
I can tell you that Fabio Quartararo has been practicing some golf.
Oh, Marc Marquez, what a fight he put up. That was a warrior ride by Marc Marquez. 20th, very happy. Suzuki Bossinichi Sahara to Joan Mir, stunning ride, 9th to 3rd. Simon.
Yes, I'm quite happy with the pace of both riders. It's quite pity for Alex, he pushed.
And certainly enjoyed it. Fabio Quartararo gets the perfect summer break tonic.
Saxon ring. He wants to come to Assen and he wants to win. That was the goal. He didn't really care about manager Eric Marhay.
And there's Maverick Vinales cutting just a rather lonely and forlorn figure before Joan Mir.
751st Premier Class podiums then for that. They are leading the World Championship riders.
Ferrara, what were the problems that hit the Japanese man? He can tell how frustrated Naka.
You know, this is for the guys and everything. I'm really happy.
Congratulations, Juan.
Thank you.
Yeah, once again from 10th on the grid.
To be first, but yeah, I try. Then when I get free space, I start to catch up a little bit Fabio, but it was too.
On Saturday he wins, so the points arrive on a Sunday, so I'm so happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that felt like a subtle dig in many respects, didn't it, to be honest?
Sometimes, you know, over a weekend, I mean, of course, qualifying
summer break. What's that? Wins in 5 of the first 9 races now for the Iwata factory.
Well, Fabio Quartararo